In the second part of our series, Hatching with Broody Hens, we're going to be showing you what we do to keep our broody hens healthy. Welcome to English Country Life. My name's Fiona, and together with my lovely husband Hugh, we run a small holding homestead here in Lincolnshire in the UK. Now Uno, one of our broody hens, has been inside this Nestera wagon for nearly 2 weeks, so she is getting ready to go ahead and hopefully hatch some of those eggs. And in this programme, what we're going to do is look at how we ensure the health of the eggs and of our broody hen. Now the eggs themselves, what we need to make sure is that they remain viable. So we're going to show you the process. We're then going to show you how we keep our broody hens healthy, because there are two things to look out for. And our broody hens sit on their nest for on average 23 hours a day. Now what that means is they're not out and about eating and drinking a lot and running around, and that comes with a couple of challenges. The first is weight loss, and the second one is holding feces in their body for excessive amounts of time. So we're going to show you how we check for those and what we do to combat them. So let's get started and have a look at egg viability. I'm not really sure if you can see Uno brooding behind me in the darkness, but she is doing an absolutely beautiful job. Now for anyone who incubates eggs using an incubator rather than a broody hen, there is a process that people go through as a matter of course normally to test the viability of the eggs as they develop. And why do we do that? Well, if an egg isn't fertile, or if it starts to grow and then stops, it will actually start to rot within the eggs. And egg shells are actually porous. And as the egg inside starts to rot, it will let off those gases. And because the eggshells are porous, it comes out of the eggshells and can potentially go into other eggs and actually stop them developing too. So it's important to actually check that an egg is fertile, and then the growth is continuing in a way that you'd expect. So normally people would test the viability on day 7, day 14, and that's what we do. But we don't just do it if we use an incubator, we also do it for the broody hens, because it's just as important. Now many people just leave the broody hens alone, but we do test the viability because we want the best possible hatch rates and for happy hens, to be honest. And the process is called candling. And why is it called candling? Well, essentially it's just shining a very, very bright light through those eggs. And there are lots of images on the net that will show you on an individual day of development what the inside of those eggs should actually look like. But here I'm going to show you a couple of eggs from day 7. The first shows you a viable egg, and you can see blood vessels developing as well as 2 dark dots, which are the beginnings of the eyes for the chick. The second image shows no development, so that will remove before returning any eggs to Uno. Weight loss for broody hens can be a real challenge through the entire brood process. They're on the nest for approximately 23 hours a day, so they've got 1 hour to be out there eating as much as possible, drinking as much as possible, and evacuating their bowels. Now we need to make sure that that weight loss isn't excessive. And how do we go about it? Well, the first thing we need to do is establish a baseline body condition. This is Licorice, and actually Licorice is the hen that hatched Uno last year, and she's going to help me demonstrate how we take a baseline body condition. Now what we're actually looking for is there's a keel bone down her breast, and there's 2 muscles either side. Now what we should be able to do for a healthy bird is feel the keel bone, but it shouldn't be prominent, and the 2 muscles either side should be convex. Now if Uno starts at this point, what we're then actually starting to do is to feel what the changes are through her brood. What we don't want to do is for the keel bone to be very prominent, and we don't want those muscles to go from convex to concave, but we'll keep an eye on that over time. Hello. So what foods are enticing to actually help Uno get that weight back up? Well, this is just some chick crumb. But to make it more enticing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some boiling water over the top. And I'm going to let that chick crumb soak up that water and cool down. Now, once that it is tepid, so it's skin temperature, I'll actually put that inside the coop, just in front of Uno's nose, and she will eat that. There's something about the aroma of warm chick crumb which is really, really enticing. And generally, that solves our problem. Another trait of a broody hen is not to poop around the eggs or in the coop. But that can come with some problems, because if they hold onto their feces in their body for too long, that can make them ill. So we need to make sure that they are actually letting go of all of that poop they're holding inside their bodies. Now, why don't they poop inside the nest or the coop? Well, it's very simple. As we mentioned in the candling segment, those eggshells are porous, and actually bacteria from the feces can actually come through the eggshell and affect the egg's development. So naturally a broody hen won't poop around those eggs, and it's also a very good reason to do what we've done and give your broody hen her own coop, because other hens won't be as considerate and they will continue to poop inside the coop. But Uno is in splendid isolation. Now, how do we check that she's actually evacuating her bowels and she's not holding on to it for too long? Now, this is where her cordoned off area comes in really handy, because she is the only hen who's got access to this fenced off area. And that means if we see poop in this area, we know that she's been out and she's been looking after herself. But if she hasn't, we need to intervene. So what do we do about it? Well, we tend to lift her out and shut the door to the coop, and we put a timer on one of our watches for 30 minutes and keep an eye on her. After 30 minutes, we open the door to the coop regardless of whether she's pooped or not. Now, if she hasn't pooped, we tempt her with foods that we talked about in the last segment, because the likelihood is she's just not eating enough. And if she has pooped, we remove it from the outdoor area, as we want to make sure that next time we take her out, that we can identify that she has let go of all those feces that she's been holding on to in her body. That's how we ensure the viability of the eggs and keep Uno healthy throughout her entire brood. Come back next week. In part 3 of the series, we'll be covering Uno as she hatches those eggs, and she does have quite a lot of them, so we will be supporting her through that process. So come back and watch to see how we do that. If you have liked this content, take a moment and give us a thumbs up down below. If you're not already a subscriber, hit subscribe and the bell icon, and you'll get to know of every new video as soon as it goes live, and that is a completely free service. If you've got a question for us, pop it in the comment section and we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as possible. But for now, thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.